Hello, good evening, all of you. This is CFA Aditya Kiran. So I just thought of sharing three core important principles which we need to remember are the common mistakes which the most of the people are making so that the capital budgeting projects are failing. The most important reasons, the reasons why many capital budgeting projects are failing in spite of rigorous and scientific analysis, why many of the projects are failing. So I thought out of my experience, these are the three important principles which everyone knows, but it's just a kind of remember. What is there is a saying in English, what is easy to see is also easy to miss. So therefore what I'm going to teach is not something rocket science or is not something most complicated, very simple things, and which we need to remember again and again, it's a kind of revision for the experts in this field, capital budgeting field. So the first point is that the first reason for failure of the capital budgeting project, it says that optimistic cash flow predictions. Many of the cash flow projections, and for that matter, many of the acquisitions or mergers are failing because of optimistic cash flow predictions. Okay, so therefore my suggestion is that ensure that your cash flow predictions are as conservative as possible, not even realistic. Be conservative, not just optimistic, not even realistic, below the realistic. Be conservative, as conservative as possible in your cash flow predictions. So remember, time and again, remember, we are living in a VUCA world, very volatile, complicated, and ambiguity world, and high competitive environment. So therefore, don't never expect a smooth ride. Have the cash flow predictions as conservative as possible, not even realistic. So not optimistic, not realistic, conservative cash flows. Ensure that your cash flow predictions are as conservative as possible. Next, so there is a saying in English which goes like this: a locomotive is strong on its track and weak elsewhere. So most of the capital budgeting projects are failing because of this reason. They will not fit into our core strategy or core competence. So just because a particular project is profitable, just because a particular business is profitable, it is not advisable to venture into that project. It looks to be very simple, but many corporates has made this mistake, and over a period of time they got back their investment from this. So take a small example of Mahindra Group. So now they have realized that their core strength is on SUVs. So earlier they have diversified into many areas. Now slowly they're coming back from their other investments, and they are focusing on their core competency of SUVs manufacturing. So that is the reason. Though many projects are profitable, with our conservative cash flow predictions, we can screen out the projects and will end up with a profitable projects. So, but out of those profitable projects, ensure whether it will fit into our overall strategy or not, or do you have another better investment opportunity. So that is the important point. Not blindly taking the profitable project. It should fit with our overall strategy, and it should also fit with our core competence. Take for example of Tata Group. So no doubt in a country like India, where almost everybody is using a mobile phone, the telecom business is profitable. May not be at present, but in future at least telecom business is scalable and profitable. No doubt about that. If that is the reason, what is the reason for the Jio entry and the exit of Tata's? When the Reliance enters into telecom, why the Tata exited from the telecom? Is it the telecom business is not profitable? No, it will not fit into their core strategy. That is the most important point. Okay, so therefore, not blindly selecting the profitable projects, we have to ensure that it fits into our core strategy or core competence. That is the second important point. After screening out the projects which are profitable, so take the conservative cash flows and screen out the profitable projects. After screening out the profitable projects, next step is to ensure that whether a particular profitable project will fit into our overall strategy or not. That is the second thing. And the third thing is that strict control. So ideas are easy, execution is difficult. This also people will keep on quoting, but people will keep on forget. That's why I just reminding. It's not that something I have discovered it out of a lot of research or research or study. No, these are common points, but people often forget. So therefore, this lecture is not about giving you new input. It's about reminding the important principles of capital budgeting. It's just a reminding. It's just a reminder of important principles. Often people will forget most important principles. That is the point. So therefore, strict control. The third point is that strict control over the project. After selecting a profitable project which fits into our strategy, the next thing is having strict control over our predictions. Whatever the cash flow predictions we have used for selecting the project, ensure that we meet the predictions. do aggressive marketing, go extra mile to reach the sales target. Whatever the sales we have captured into the predictions, right, for computing the NPV or another performance metric. So ensure that do aggressive marketing and go extra mile to reach that sales, to reach the targeted sales. And ensuring the second point is that ensuring the costs are within limits. So don't go for lavish advertising or unnecessary advertisements. Okay, ensure that the costs are always having stringent financial disciplines to meet to ensure that the costs are within the limits. That is the second point. And the third important point is that no procrastination, no laxity. Ensure that the project is implemented timely. These are very simple projects, very simple principles, but which people will often forget when they enter into most complicated analysis. When the analysis or execution becomes more complicated, people will lose sight over the basic principles. That is the basic. That is the intention of this lecture, to bring about the three basic safeguards, fundamental safeguards, which everyone knows, but which often people will forget. Okay, thank you.